Quick snap! In this quick snap, we're going to actually talk about some offense. In all 18 years of my coaching experience, I've coached the line, and in 16 of those years, I've coached offensive lines in veer option attacks of some sort. In this particular quick snap, we're going to take a look at reading the 4-3 stack using the Flexbone triple option offense. Briefly, before we get into some film, let's talk about what we're trying to accomplish when we get a 4-3-2 high defense with a 50 technique linebacker stacked over the 5 tech defensive end. What the defense is typically going to have is one of those players responsible for B gap and the other responsible for C gap. What the quarterback is going to do on inside veer triple option is read the stack. If either of those players step into B gap, he's going to pull it and anticipate a leverage pitch on the perimeter. First scenario is the easy give. 5 tech is up the field. The linebacker stacks and is scraping for the quarterback. Give the ball to the fullback and pick up a nice 3, 4, 5 yard carry at the worst. The other read the quarterback could get is the 5 tech stepping down, squeezing the down block, the veer release by the tackle, and pulling it and pitching it because that linebacker is scraping initially for the quarterback to the pitch. The defense is usually going to try and use the secondary to play the pitch, and that linebacker is not going to be in position or fast enough to run to the pitch. The other scenario is the linebacker fills the B gap, tries to tackle the dive, the quarterback pulls it, and typically that defensive end, that 5 technique, is not going to be fast enough to react, put his foot in the ground, and run to the pitch. So we're, again, anticipating that leverage pitch. Lastly, complementing the inside veer, if that stack read is challenging for a quarterback, maybe you're a JV offensive coordinator, you can simply call zone dive, which has the exact same blocking, at least that's how we do it, as inside veer for the 5 offensive linemen. And now the halfback, instead of arcing to the perimeter, he is going to step inside and aim to put his outside shoulder pad through the nutsack of what was the dive key. This also is a great complement if that linebacker is getting to the perimeter too fast, that your slot or your wing, whatever you want to call this W guy back here, can't get wide enough and beat him with the leverage pitch. So here is our JV running inside veer against a 4-3 stack. Right there is the dive key. Right there is the stacked linebacker. He is the pitch key. Our tackle is going to veer to the MAC linebacker. And right here, you can see they have their safety walked up, almost creating a 4-4 type box. Our rule for our slot is to load the box, and the first thing scraping out to it, which happens to be that safety. Our quarterback is reading that stack. If either of them step inside to the B gap, he's going to leverage pitch it to the perimeter. Right now, the dive key's turned his shoulders. He's inside. The stacked linebacker, his eyes, his shoulders are looking inside. The quarterback rides it, pulls it to the edge, pitches, and we make the corner miss for a touchdown. Later on in the game, to make sure that the defense was committing and not cheating this safety to the alley too quickly, we come back with zone dive. So we're still going to go inside veer blocking, offensive tackles down to the MAC linebacker, and the slot is going to put a shoulder pad through the nutsack or inside hip of the dive key. Pad level's not what we want. It's week 2, but we have the dive key kicked out. We have our offensive tackle up on the middle linebacker. The safety is scraping to the alley. and we have a touchdown. So now some of our varsity. Right now, here is the D end. Here is the stacked linebacker. Quarterback is reading. Do either of these guys steps inside to B gap? Doesn't read that linebacker stepping inside to the B gap. Probably just had his eyes on the D end. But our fullback hits it downhill, and we pick up a 3-yard gain. So right there, you see the linebacker making the tackle. On the perimeter, though, we got 2 for 2. So the next play, we're going to come back with inside veer again. And this time, the quarterback reads the stack. D end is down on the fullback. The linebacker stepped straight up. We have him leveraged. The pitch back, and this is not our fastest pitch back by any means. He has his shoulders turned and he's running full speed for the sideline. The guy responsible for scraping from quarterback to him is right now just a little bit outside of him, but the momentum of that pitch back is going to be greater. So we're going to get the edge out here. Our split end, he gets run over slowly, so to speak, and our slot is working his butt off to block the corner. If we get a little better block probably out of the slot to seal the edge and race to get that outside shoulder, our pitchback can keep running and we probably get more yards. Still a solid 6-yard gain. So here we go. We're going to counter motion. Pretty sure our quarterback is checking to this. Here's our stack, our dive, our pitch. Again, we're kind of reading that as one read. If either of those guys step towards B gap, we're assuming and anticipating we can get the leverage pitch at quarterback. Both the D end and the stacked linebacker step towards the B gap. Quarterback pulls it. He's actually going to get his ankle hurt on that play. Not a good situation, but he does make the correct read. So backup quarterback comes in. This is a few plays later. Backup quarterback's in, and we go zone dive. So what we have on zone dive here, our slot is going to be kicking out the normal dive key. At the varsity level here, we're going to do a better job and just let the stack linebacker work through the perimeter. And our offensive tackle is going to be down to the middle linebacker. Never mind. Our offensive tackle is up on the stacked linebacker. Our center is really working his butt off to get to that middle linebacker. And we actually go behind the 3 technique. I really wish we had the end zone clip. I'll let this play through one time. Our fullback is always coached up to read the action key, which is the first player on to outside the guard. If the guard ends up kicking him out, the fullback's going to make a quick little bend into the A gap. Problem is our center doesn't wash that middle linebacker far enough. We do have them moving some sideline to sideline in the box there, which is always good for the offense. But that middle linebacker ends up making the tackle. 6-yard gain, so it's a win for the offense. Watch it one more time. You can see the action key is definitely kicked out. We do have pretty good pad level out of our slot on the dive key, and our tackle is chasing the stack. It'd be nice if he was down inside and we kind of had a double team on the middle linebacker. Still our backup quarterback. Now we go inside veer. We gave him a snap or two and let him get confident. Here's our stack. 1, 2. We went with a tight alignment, make the crack of our split end a little easier. He's going to crack safety, and the slot is arcing to the corner. Both the D end and the stacked linebacker step out. There's a lane in B gap. We give the ball. Nice 6-yard gain. Let it play one time all the way through. Pretty good wall. We get some wash. The middle linebacker gets caught up. Here we go. Inside veer. D ends down. Stacked linebacker stepping inside. Be nice if our offensive tackle, again, this is week 2. Be nice if he was just worried about seeing the middle linebacker. And we miss a perimeter block, so we only get 3 yards. Right now our slot and our split end, they decide to just stalk it, and that's why we like the crack in the arc a little bit more. That safety gets sealed inside typically a little better and doesn't make the pitchback cut quite so drastically. End zone shot. Again, we really want the offensive tackle sealing that middle linebacker, and you'll see number 9 at safety here does a great job pulling his trigger, has good leverage, forces the ball back, and now what was the pitch key was able to make it out there because the safety ended up playing so hard downhill. Quick motion, try and get him to jump, get our 5 yards back. We're behind the sticks, 1st and 17. We've got our slot communicating with the split end, how they're going to block the perimeter. Pretty sure they crack and arc again. There's the D end, there's the stacked linebacker, and again, that linebacker's in position to play B gap, so we're going to read the stack with the quarterback. If either of the guys step into B gap, he's going to pull it. The D end is down inside. The linebacker actually steps far enough inside, our offensive tackle. Again, we want him work into the middle linebacker, but he steps to the linebacker, excuse me. We do have leverage, though, on the perimeter. You can already see our split end's going to be able to seal the safety. He's really downhill. We get the angle there. Our slot is arcing out to the corner. Corner sets the edge, and there is a big alley for our pitchback to hit. Nice big game. Here we go one more time. Let it play through. Somebody steps to the B gap. Leverage pitch it. Let your fast slot pitch back get out in space and go make a play. End zone shot. And this will show both the idea that number 43, the stacked linebacker, he can very easily step down inside and play that B gap. And they have their D end extra wide because we've been running some rocket. You're also going to see why we really want the offensive tackle to be on more of a angle for the middle linebacker who happens to plug A gap real hard. So we blocked the pitch key, but he's stepping inside and we have him out leveraged. We also still had numbers on the perimeter. We had 2 for their 2, so we're in good shape. Here we go with C motion. What we should be getting is our split end who has taken a nasty split, and our slot automatically working that crack arc. Both the defensive end is stepping into the B gap and the stacked linebacker is scraping tight for the quarterback. Quarterback holds onto it, gets the stacked backer to commit. It'd be nice if our slot would have continued wide on his arc path to be an extra blocker on the safety. The corner actually buries himself in because of that C motion. Right here, number 7 is the cornerback. And our split end doesn't quite get that safety. The corner gets back out. If we got a better block on that safety, if we maybe got our slot out to that where the corner should be, he maybe would have picked up that block on the safety and we get more yards. You can see right here, he's into B gap, he's in C gap, but he is in no way, shape, or form in a position to be able to run with our slot, who even off the no motion, because we see mode the other slot, can't have 2 guys in motion, even because of the no motion, he's got enough momentum that he's able to get out on the perimeter and pick up a nice first down. Here we go with a dive. So like I said, we've been running a lot of rocket toss against these guys, so that DN's first step typically is out. Our slot does a great job. Look at the pad level here. His shoulder pad is in the nutsack of the dive key. The stacked backer is scraping outside. We got a wall formed, and we're going to hit a crease for a nice 14-yard gain. End zone shot. Right there. Nice job by Levi with that pad level. We got Matt and Cole and our center Rick forming a wall play side. Middle linebacker can't get through. The stacked linebacker doesn't have leverage because he stepped outside. And our fullback gets a nice 14-yard gain. One more dive off of rocket action. Great pad level by that slot. That's definitely a shoulder pad through the nutsack. We got our wall formed. The stacked linebacker steps outside, falls back in, and holds on to the ankles of our big fullback, Zach. Be nice. Watch number 43 right here. The back stacked linebacker. Be nice if our offensive tackle would have continued to search on the top of the wall and picked up that block with a little better leverage, because it probably gives Zach a better chance of breaking the ankle tackle by number 10. So there you go. That's a stack read and how to complement it with zone dive. Again, the defense is trying to play both a stacked linebacker and the dive key into the B gap potentially by reading both of them, or by counting on that stacked linebacker being the scrape player and running zone dive. You could still attack that B gap bubble that a 4-3 defense gives a Flexbone option offense. Thanks for checking out this quick snap on Coaching Football with Brian Klee. Please follow me on Twitter at Coach Klee. Subscribe to the channel, Coaching Football with Brian Klee, by clicking down below. And if you have any further follow-up questions, email me at coachbrienklee@gmail.com.